सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। गुकारस्त्वन्धकारो वै ऋकारस्तन्निवर्तकः अन्धकारनिरोधित्वाद् गुरुरित्यभिधीयते। सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। Verse number 19. अहमयं कुतो भवति चिन्वतः ऐपतत्यहं निजविचारणम्। It is Chinvataha for the one who is inquiring, seeking to understand in what manner is he thinking, inquiring, deliberating. Ayam aham kuto bhavati. This aham, this I thought, where is it arise from? What is its source? Ahi patati. Moment you inquire into its source, inquire into its reality, then it no more remains. Like even when you ask, where does this pot arise from? What is reality? And then when you see the fact that the pot is never away from the clay is the reality, then the pot drops off from your mind because you cannot drop the clay. The name and form you can drop. So this is the ultimate in neti negation. So Vedanta is teaching negation. Negation of what is mithya, what is dependent, what is of no consequence. And so slowly, first of all, we said the mind consists of two kinds of thoughts. This thought and I thought. This thought is dropped. I thought and consciousness. I thought is dropped. What remains is consciousness. So I am aham patati. Aham is a name and form, drop down. Meaning, moment I realize that name and form is not real. It is incidental. It emerges, sustains, goes back. The I thought also is constantly changing. So what is changing has a beginning, has a middle, has an end. So what is it? That is a sustaining factor, that which illumines the I thought. So the very I thought brings me to the illuminator of the I thought. So our Kenopanishad says, Pratibodha Viditatmananda. So when you see Brahman or consciousness with reference to every cognition that arises, so the reality of the I thought, of the name and form, is that which illumines the name and form, is that which gives it the satta and sphurti, the existence and intelligence. And so then I arrive at the very subject, that is myself, and thus the cause of the I thought, which is consciousness, is recognized as my own self. So this is what the next verse tells us, because the question arose that when you say that aham padati, the I falls, drops down, goes away, disappears, then what remains? Because that is myself. I is myself. The self, individual self is myself. And when it disappears, what remains? So this is sometimes a question. This is what Vedanta teaches, that you are no more. What kind of a teaching is this? So there is a text called Upadesa Saaram, and that has been edited by a Britisher, Colonel Jacob. He must be a good scholar, because he studied many manuscripts of Vedanta Sara text. And not only that, it has so many quotations. He located each of them from a variety of places. And he wrote copious notes also, explaining certain difficult passages or words. But in a preface, he writes and concludes that Vedanta teaches that there is only one reality. That means that you are no more there. You cessation of yourself. What kind of a teaching is this? And so the real teaching is that you love Christ and you are devoted. So he saw justification, of course, his own teaching. So after all of this studying of this text in such great depth, because when you compare many manuscripts, when you look at every quotation, when you trace every quotation, when you explain them in your notes, that must be a very in-depth study. After that, he comes to this conclusion. That this teaching means cessation of yourself, erasing of yourself. I don't want to erase myself. I want to enjoy Krishna. I don't want to be erased by that, I don't want sayujya. I don't want oneness, because then what will I enjoy? What will I serve? So this fear always remains. And so that fear is answered in the next. And you see, what is destructible alone will get destroyed, but what is not destructible will not destroy. The Upanishads also give other examples. They give examples of the rivers flowing to the ocean. Yatha nadya sindhamana samudra astam gacchanti nam rupe vihaya, just as the rivers flowing, they merge into ocean and nama rupe vihaya, giving up the names and forms. There is no more Ganga, no more Yamuna, no more Mississippi. So it is gone. There is self-destruction, is it not so? So Ganga says, where am I? I am gone. Yamuna says, I am gone. Nam rupe vihaya, giving up name and form. But is Ganga really gone? Is the river really gone? Some part of it is gone, which is goable, which can go, has gone. But what cannot go has not gone, is it not? So even when Ganga thought that I am Ganga, what was his true nature? Ganga really is nothing but water. But when that water gives reality to its sense of confinement, then it calls itself Ganga. Other calls itself Yamuna. and XYZ. And so they retain their individuality. When they merge into ocean, the Ganga does not go away. The essence of Ganga doesn't go away, only the superimposed part goes away. That water is superimposed, this sense of limitedness or confinement to itself, and that water called itself Ganga, that confinement goes away. Because what cannot go away, cannot go away. Water cannot go away. The essence cannot go away. Truth cannot go away. So it is true that, am I ready for this name and form to go away? Sometimes there is a fear. And so Lord Krishna says that, give up your fear. And so when you are meditating, give up the fear. Nothing is going to happen to you. You are not going to disappear. You will not get destroyed. You don't get destroyed when you... Thank God there is no fear when you go to sleep, but that's what is happening every day. When you're fast asleep, then what? You're gone. Is it not so? Thank God we have no resistance, no problem with that. You wake up. Well, the thing is, just as a deep sleep state, what goes away is just a name and form, the I thought also goes away. But the essence doesn't go away. The existence doesn't go away. That's the reason why I wake up next morning. The essential self that I was remained. So here also, now this is not merging into deep sleep, this is merging, if you want to call it merging, into consciousness, the self. So what goes away? The name and form of the ego, which are superimposed anyway, which are mithya, which are only incidental. That goes away. The costume goes away. That's all it is. Costume goes away, but the true self does not go away. So the next verse tells us, Ahaminashabhajyamahantaya Sfuratirutsvayam paramapurnasat Ahami Nashabhaji. Which case is this? Which case is this? Vocative. Saptami, right. What kind of Saptami? Sati Saptami. What it means is, when something happens, when aham, so Nashabhaji, when aham is destroyed. Remember destruction of the mind? So destruction can happen of that which is destructible. But in aham also there is destructible, there is indestructible element. So destructible, the name and form, the incidental, Nashabhaji, when that completely disappears. But what happens? Is there void? Is there nothingness? Do I get destroyed? Says no. Aham taya surati hrutsvayam parama purnasat. So Surati shines. What shines? Hrut Surati. Hrut means the self here. Hrut means heart, but here it means the self. Hrut Surati, the self shines. So the aham, the I notion goes in the very place where the I notion is gone, there itself shines the self. In the very place where the pot is gone, shines the clay. Very place where the ornament is gone, you melt the ornament, shines the gold. Similarly also the very place where the I notion, the name and form has disappeared, that is where the I, the self shines. The question is, when you say here, now the self shines, does it mean the self was not shining so far? As long as ego is there, so long the self does not have an opportunity to shine, and now that ego has gone away, the self is an opportunity to shine. Is that how it looks like? So one may get an idea that something new shines, something that never was there starts shining. If it is not there and starts shining, then it will not be there at some point in time also. No, the self is always shining. And self alone is shining really. That alone is capable of shining. All that is shining, self-effulgent, is only consciousness. And therefore, self or consciousness cannot but shine. It cannot happen that it does not shine. Then why does Ramana Maharaj say that now it shines? Now it shines in its true glory, meaning that now it is recognized in its true glory. It always shines in its true glory. What's happening is that this actor also shines and the costume also shines. And therefore, when you see this person on the stage, we think he is a beggar. So when he negates what is negatable, namely his costume, is in a green room, then the actor starts shining. But was not the actor shining even when the beggar was? Is it possible for the beggar to be there without the actor? Is it possible for the beggar to exist without actor? So when the beggar is begging, with whose hand is he begging? When the beggar is singing, in India beggars sing, with the background music and playback singers and things like that. And some of the best bhajans are found from them. So bhajans from film. Usually beggars are singing them. So with whose voice is he singing? With whose hand is he begging? With whose legs is he walking? Of the actor, is it not so? So then, when can the beggar be? Only when the actor is. When can he shine? When the actor shines. But then when in the green room, when he gives up his costume, see, now he shines in his true self. He was always shining, but was not so recognized. Formerly, the recognition was that this is a beggar. Same fellow is shining. With his costume gone, now my recognition is, now here is the actor. Similarly, when the ego is shining, the I notion is shining, the consciousness is shining, because consciousness alone can shine. That actor alone can shine. There is no such entity as beggar. So, actor alone is shining. But he is not recognized on account of that costume. Therefore, for our purpose, it is necessary for him to remove the costume, for us to recognize him in his true nature. He always was shining in his true nature. He never gave up his nature. He never became a beggar. It was my problem that I could not recognize his true nature as long as there was his costume, and therefore the need to let go of the costume. And what shines is what always was shining. So formerly the self plus the costume were shining, now self alone is shining. So what was the costume? That name and form, that ego, sense of individuality, the I thought. So consciousness was shining with the I thought. The I thought goes, then I realize its true nature as consciousness. So it is not that something that was not shining now starts shining. Self-realization, Swamiji, now the self started shining. No. It always shines. It is not knowledge of the self, we always know the self. You don't have to experience it because you always experiencing self. We don't have to know the self, we always know that because self is self-shining, you cannot but know it, you cannot but be conscious about it. But along with that, something else is shining, which is what we call the costume. And our inability to distinguish between them, therefore we lump them together and therefore do not recognize. We always know the self, but we know it with this costume and therefore know the self as a limited entity. When the costume goes, the self is known for what it is, namely free from limitations. So now my perception changes, not that I perceive something new or which I did not perceive before, understand? Now my perception about myself changes. So far, I perceived myself as a limited being because name and form was thought to be real, thought to be myself. When name and form disappears, then I see that consciousness is my nature, boundlessness is my nature. Svirati, but says Ramana, Svirati Rut Swayam. The truth, the self, so shines. Swayam itself shines by itself, shines on its own, it now manifests itself. But no, it shines now in its true nature. What is the true nature? Parama Purna Sat. So aham taya as I, the self of the consciousness now shines on its own as I. What is shining on its own? It means it is self-shining, self-effulgent. The ego does not shine on its own. Ego shines because the self shines. But here the self is self-effulgent. So Swam Sfurati, meaning it is self-shining, self-revealing. To shine or reveal is its nature. How does it shine? Or how is it recognized? Parama Purna Sat. So what was so far thought to be a limited entity is now recognized to be Parama Purna Sat. Sat means existence. What kind of existence? Self-revealing existence. Sat is self-revealing. So what is Sat? Is Chit. What is it further? Purna Sat. Purna means what? Complete, whole, boundless. So what is it? What is Purna? Purna is that which does not exclude anything. That alone is called complete or whole or boundless, for which there is nothing outside of it, which is all inclusive. So Parama, it shines as all inclusive, all accommodative, as boundless. So boundless Sat, such which is existence which is boundless. And Paramapurna, even boundless also is further qualified. Paramapurna. Parama means what? Supreme, limitless. So Parama means that which is free from the limitations of time, place and conditions. As limitless, boundless existence it shines. The consciousness shines as the limitless, boundless existence. Parama means limitless, free from the limitation of time, place and condition. Meaning that it is there all the time. It is there even when the time is not. At all the places, again it is there even when the place is not. Under all conditions, it is there even when conditions are not. What do you mean Swami, time is not? In the deep sleep state, there is no time. The self still shines. Deep sleep state, there is no space. Self still shines. In waking state, when time and space are there, of course it shines. In deep sleep, when time and space are not, still it shines. Meaning that all time, space, all of them shine after that. Says Upanishad, Tameo Bhantam Anubhadi Sarvam. It shines, everything shines after. To give you an example, the sun shines and moon shines after. Sun shines, the moon shines because the sun shines. The moon shines in the light of sun. So also everything shines in the light of the self, the consciousness. So Parama, limitless, Purna, full, Sat, existence, as limitless, full existence. It shines when it is recognized as such. I see myself as Purna. We say, so when I see myself, Purna means complete, whole, in which there is no lack at all. So that is called Purna or whole, which is free from all lack or want. I see myself as free from all lack, all want, all boundaries. When there is no lack, there is no want in me, then there is a complete satisfaction with myself. There is a complete self-acceptance, self-love, self-satisfaction. Atmaneva Atmana Tushtaha. One that is satisfied with oneself by oneself. So this is what the wise person sees himself to be. Parama Purna Sat. Meaning that when this impostor goes away, so far the ego was posing to be the self. When you made an inquiry, that fellow disappears, leaving the true self in its place, which is Parama Purna Sat. So, if you note, in this verse, verse number 20, those who understand a little bit of Sanskrit can see here, Ahaminasha Bhaji, when the Aham gets destroyed, Aham Taya, as Aham, when the Aham gets destroyed, then the self shines as Aham. When the I gets destroyed, the self shines as I. You see a contradiction here? When the I gets destroyed, then the self shines as I. No contradiction? Ahaminashabhaji. Aham means I, capital I, self. So Ahaminashabhaji, when the Aham gets destroyed, then Aham Taya, as I, the consciousness shines. I gets destroyed, then I shines. What is that? So the point is that apparently the word I has two meanings. I gets destroyed, one eye gets destroyed, other eye shines in its place. Same word I apparently is used for two entities. One entity that gets destroyed, other entity that shines in its place. So what are these two eyes? Two eyes. That is explained in the next verse. Idamaham pada bhikshamanvaham ahamilina ke pyalaya sattaya. Idam aham pada abhikyam. See the translation? What is called by the word aham. So see the translation. What is called or implied by the word aham. So now the word I has two meanings. One is what is called vachyartha or the literal meaning. Other is called lakshyartha or the implied meaning. Because we have limitation of words, we don't have enough words. since we do not have enough words, we are obliged to use the same word for two things. So word I is used for ahankara also, ego also. But that's what we normally take to be I. And the real I is consciousness, that also is called I. Because what will you use? What word will you use? So only one word I. So same word is used both for ego as well as for consciousness. Why is it so? Because when the word I is first uttered, see, whenever a word is uttered, whatever meaning it immediately brings about in your mind is the immediate meaning. Then when you dwell upon that, does that meaning really fit in this context? Then you find that that meaning does not fit. Then we go for a different meaning which fits in that context. That's called the implied meaning. So once our Swami is describing, he says, looking from one's window on the street downstairs, this husband is looking and calls his wife, "Hey, come, look! The white horse is coming." Wife comes and says, "Where is white horse?" There was no white horse. What was coming? Was a man. It's coming, He was intoxicated. With what? With an alcohol, which name was white horse. So, white horse is coming. What's the literal meaning of white horse? White horse. So now when this sentence is uttered, the white horse is coming. My first effort is to take the meaning literally, that I expect a white horse to be coming. When I do not see that, since the person has said white horse is coming, so it must be meaningful. Depends on who says that. Otherwise, hey, you don't know what you're talking about. I can dismiss it. But when it comes from a source which is trustworthy, I know that what this source is saying is they mean what they are saying. Then I go for another meaning which will fit in this context. So when this person says a white horse is coming, I know there is a reason why he says that. So then I look for it. Oh, he's talking about a brandy called white horse. And that's what this man, I can see now. The way, doesn't walk like a horse, but still, as the horse is inside, now I can see how the white horse is walking. So this is called implied meaning. In Vedanta it's called lakshyartha. Lakshya means target. Lakshya, the targeted meaning. The literal meaning and targeted meaning. This mother once was going out, gave instruction to her young son. She was preparing some dish, so she has laid out this curd, in the veranda for drying up. So then she instructed her son. She was going out, 10-year-old son. Kakebhya dadirakshatam. Hey, make sure that crows don't come and destroy this. Sanskrit, Kakebhya dadirakshatam. You protect this curd from crows. Alright. So the son is sitting there watching. When the mother comes, all the curd is gone. So what happened? You're sitting here, I told you to protect this. But mom, you said protect this curd from the crows, but here a cat came. So word crow meant for all those creatures that can possibly destroy this curd. In that sense it is used. So in what sense is the word used? That's to be understood. That's why we require a teacher. Because sometimes the literal meaning of the word does not fit in the context. Then we have to see what the implied or the targeted meaning is. Thus the word aham has, when the word aham or I is uttered, the immediate meaning that comes in my mind is I, the individual, the ego. When we say that I shines as a limitless whole existence, that cannot apply to ego. Ego is not limitless, it's not whole. Then I have to go for other meaning of word I, which can satisfy these qualifications: Parama, Purna, Sat. Parama, limitless; Purna, whole; Sat, existence. I, meaning ego, cannot satisfy that requirement. So, I, meaning ego, does not fit into this context. Then you go for another meaning of I. So that is consciousness, which is limitless, which is Purna, which is whole, all inclusive. So that becomes a lakshyartha, or implied, or targeted. So there is a target in my mind when I use a word. The important thing is that the correct communication can take place only when the listeners understand the words in the meaning in which they were used by the speaker. So the students should understand the meaning of the words in the same sense in which the teacher used them. Otherwise, the student will go away with some understanding which is different from what is meant by the teacher, and not uncommon at all. It's not uncommon at all that people understand you to be quite different, quite contrary sometimes from what you in fact are trying to communicate. So that is where the tuning up was required. So when that bond, that tuning up is there between the student and teacher, then the student gets the meaning of which the teacher means. Otherwise you are in one phase, he is in another phase, which is usually the case, and then we come away with all kinds of interpretation. Swami, the other day you said it. I didn't say that. So in the evening the satsang questions, Swamiji, in the class you said, when did I say that? That we are all parts of Brahman, when did I say that? But then, you see, you understand it in some way, in your own way. Or sometimes some conclusion all in my mind, and then I interpret, yes, that's what he is also saying. So Shravanam, listening, is not a simple thing. It's not just I'm sitting in a class. The Shravanam takes place. Listening can take place. Shravanam, what is meant, may not take place. Unless there is a tuning up there, unless both of them enjoy the same frequency and wavelength. Of course, the teacher always attempts to try to lower his frequency and wavelength to that of the student, but still, something also is expected on the part of the student. Therefore, Anvaham. Anvaham, well, here the translation is daily, all right. Anu means Anantaram. Anvam, Anu, Aham becomes Anvaham. Anantaram, Aham Anantaram. Meaning that when this I, which is the ego, when it drops, then following that, another I shines. So that is the implied meaning of the word Aham, which is what? The consciousness. Ahami liyanakepi, even Ahami liyanake, Aham means when the ego also, liyanake, when it subsides, when it is merged, when it disappears, when it is resolved. Alaya satyaya. Satyaya is existence. Alaya, where laya does not happen, where merger does not happen, as indestructible existence. Meaning that when the ego disappears. Then in its very place shines the self, the true self, the consciousness, which is alaya satta, meaning as indestructible existence. So, here the translation talks about the deep sleep. So, deep sleep experience also shows us that the state of deep sleep also, the ego is not there. The sense of individuality is not there, right? Thank God. In deep sleep state, ego is not there. That's why you like that sleep. Because the ego is a huge burden. All the stresses are because of that ego. And therefore, we want to escape the deep sleep, to escape from the ego. The burden of the ego. Therefore, in deep sleep state, you experience freedom. Freedom from what? From ego. Not in waking states. In waking state, I am very self-conscious. Swami, one picture please. Wait a minute. When I am sleeping, Swami, a picture please. I won't object to anything. My mouth may be open, I may be this way, that, doesn't matter. Because no self-consciousness. Meaning I am free. It is self-consciousness which is binding me because I am so and so and therefore I must appear so and so. That complex that I am so and so is not there in deep sleep state. You can take whatever photos and videos you want. I may not want to see them next day, that's a different matter. But you can take, I won't object. I'm enjoying freedom from what? From this stupid ego, which I'm holding on to. The unfortunate thing is, throughout the day, throughout all the waking hours, I want to hold on to ego, I want to assert my ego, I want to prove my ego. Not realizing that that way I am just binding myself, stressing myself. Thank God that Ishvara has given us this experience of deep sleep state, where that ego, without my effort, without my effort it goes away. So, this I, which is Vachyartha, the immediate meaning of the word I, which is ego, is no more than deep sleep state. Does it mean that there is void? Yes, there are some people who believe that in deep sleep state there is non-existence. They are called Shunyavadis. People who say that ultimate reality about I or you is Shunyam, is void, nothingness. Why? Because in deep sleep state there is nothingness. If you say that you existed in deep sleep state, then you should have been aware that you are experiencing freedom, you are experiencing bliss, you are experiencing this. You are not aware. That means that in deep sleep state there is no awareness. Isn't that right? If awareness is your nature, and as you claim you exist in deep sleep state, that means in deep sleep state also awareness is there. If awareness is there in deep sleep state, should you not be aware of what we are experiencing in deep sleep state? They say that in deep sleep state you experience bliss. I have to accept it. But I am not aware of it. How nice would it have been? In deep sleep state, they say that I experience bliss. If I was aware that I am experiencing bliss, there would have been no need to wake up also. That's what I would like to remain. I am not aware. That means you are not there. You, the awareness is not there. Had you been there, you would have been aware that I am experiencing this ananda. So what is the conclusion? Conclusion is, in deep sleep state, there is no consciousness, no awareness. There was no self. There was what? There is non-existence. It's called Shunyavada. It's a big vada. There are people who believe that the reality about yourself is Shunyam or void. Doesn't it make sense what they say? Isn't it so? if consciousness is my nature, and I am present in deep sleep state, then should I not be conscious of what I am experiencing? But I am not conscious. That means I am not there. Consciousness is not there. Because if consciousness is there, I should be conscious of what I am experiencing. I am not conscious. The consciousness is not there. That is right. That makes sense. Is it not so? They say no. You tell me. You claim that consciousness is your nature. You claim that you exist in deep sleep state. Then how do you explain that there is no consciousness of what you are experiencing? How do you explain that? Does consciousness get resolved?
Maybe as long as we're embedded embodied beings, to be aware
Consciousness cannot be unmanifest because it is self-shining. It cannot be unmanifest.
Is it a state of mind? Plane of consciousness, state of mind?
But Swamiji, when you wake up, you say, I slept well, that this is self-existent.
You say that.
You are aware that you slept well.
Then were you aware when you were sleeping? Did you say after you wake up? Were you aware when you were sleeping?
go into near potential and a beach. Mind resolves in consciousness.
I think you transcend space and time, so you exist beyond space and time.
I should be there in order to experience.
This is the thing is, consciousness is one thing, and conscious of something is a different thing. For me to be conscious of something such as a clock, not only is consciousness required, the mind also is required, sense organs are required, then consciousness along with mind goes out through sense organs and contacts their object, then the cognition takes place. Deep sleep state, those other infrastructure is not there. Consciousness is there. But for consciousness of something, what else is required, namely mind, not there. Therefore consciousness is there, but consciousness of something is not there, because the mind is not there. That's how Vedanta is explained them. I say, look, so mind is not there, not that consciousness is not there. There's always a big contention going on. But the point is, Vedanta says that the self is very much there in the conscious, in the deep sleep state. Rahu grasta diva karendu sadusho maya samachhadanat sanmatra karnopasamharanato yogabhut sushupta puman pragas swapsamiti prabodha samaye yah pratyabhignayate tasmai shri guru murte namaidam shri dakshina murte. Rahu grasta diva karendu sadusho. Now, like the planet Rahu, it swallows sun or the moon. It's a solar eclipse or lunar eclipse. Not that sun is destroyed, is eclipsed by the planet, shadow planet called Rahu. It's an example. So the self is as though eclipsed by ignorance. And so even though the sun is there, you don't see it. Although the fact that the Rahu, the shadow planet is seen, you see when you see the eclipse, you can see a little border there. Even that thing also shines because of sun only. And so, in the deep sleep state, the self as though gets eclipsed. And therefore, the consciousness of something is not there. But regardless of that, the existence is very much there. And therefore, when I wake up in the morning, I say that, so I who went to sleep is I who has woken up. Vedanta says that if in deep sleep state the I was not there, then a new I should wake up every morning, right? Every morning, how you should feel? Hey, a new I. Who am I? Where is he? It should be a new thing. Unfortunately not. We would sometimes wish that that was the case. But I wake up the same fellow. As Swami says, if as idiot he went to sleep, as idiot he wakes up. Meaning that when I wake up in the morning, I don't have the feeling that a new I has waken up. I know that I who went to sleep is the I who has woken up. That shows that the I very much exists in the deep sleep state. Alaya sattaya. The satta, the existence of the I, is alaya, does not get merged, does not disappear. So, that is the evidence that that substratum I always is. Similarly, when this ego goes away, that very I, that is substratum, continues to shine as a true I. Thus, the word I has now two meanings, a vachyartha and lakshyartha. Vachyartha, literal meaning, the ego. Lakshyartha, the implied meaning, that is self or the consciousness. So thus, in these verses, it started with this question, what's the nature of manasandukim? What's the nature of mind? So before you start doing something with the mind, first understand what the mind is. Mind is the thoughts. What kind of thoughts? Yes, object thought and subject thought. Of that, the object thought is dependent. Subject thought is independent. Therefore, in effect, the mind is nothing but the subject thought, the I thought. What is that I thought? Where does it arise from? It arises from Parama, Purna, Sat. The I thought evolves from consciousness, which is limitless, whole existence. It remains as that, merges back into that. So what is the truth of the mind is Parama, Purna, Sat. When you thus see this fact, the mind is no more. So what the yogi want to do through all that long process, you can do it through this process of inquiring into the reality of the mind. So that process is explained in these verses. So I think we'll be obliged to again put a break here. I was hoping to complete it during this retreat. We've not made a lot of progress. So next retreat, I guess we have to continue. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.